Trump claims that Ye brought the antisemite to dinner, so it's not on him. But he also reportedly said of Fuentes, I like him. He gets me. Trump dining with a white nationalist? Impossible, according to his campaign, as the meetup descends into a full-fledged public relations catastrophe. One longtime Trump advisor described it as, quote, an effing nightmare. Okay, are we really going to play this game? As if Trump dining with one of the country's most prominent young white supremacists is, like, surprising. Remember, he is the guy who told the far-right Proud Boys to stand back and stand by when he was asked to condemn white supremacists, before they broke into the Capitol. He also said this about the Unite the Right white supremacist rally in Charlottesville that left one counter-protester dead.
You also had people that were very fine people on both sides.
Very fine neo-Nazis, according to Trump. Nick Fuentes was at that rally, along with Richard Spencer, who helped to organize it. Spencer, a prolific and proud white supremacist, Muslim-hating propagandist, attended Duke with Stephen Miller, the architect of Trump's Muslim ban and child separation policies, who now spends his time suing the federal government for helping black farmers. Spencer has publicly stated that he considered himself Miller's mentor. Let's just pause on that for a moment. The person who was writing America's immigration policy was allegedly mentored by an alt-right white nationalist. Oh, and that's Spencer's term, by the way, alt-right, which is basically a cleaned-up word for white nationalist or fascist or Nazi. Steve Bannon, who once bragged that he made Breitbart the home of the alt-right, was later brought on as Trump's chief campaign strategist. He then had a direct line to Trump and the Oval Office, thereby cementing white nationalism and nativism as key components of Trump's national vision. It's like 6 degrees of separation to a white nationalist, and not even 6, more like 3 or 1. Then throw in the Republican Party, and it's like, well, everyone knows your name. 2 House Republicans, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Paul Gosar, participated in an annual white supremacist event organized by, wait for it, Nick Fuentes. After some backlash, Greene claimed, well, she didn't know who white nationalism guy was, despite appearing chummy with him literally on stage. And then we have Matt Gaetz, who hosted Holocaust denier Charles Johnson, brought him as his guest to the State of the Union. Gaetz then claimed that, he had no pre-existing relationship with the guy. Just happened to have an extra ticket lying around for the antisemite in my office. Ditto on Trump advisor Larry Kudlow, who once invited Peter Brimelow to a birthday party at his home. Brimelow is a promoter of white identity politics on an anti-immigration website called VDare that he founded in 1999. Kudlow said, well, he'd known Brimelow forever, just not the white nationalist part. And there you have it. The same tired excuse we're now hearing from Trump, who denies knowing who anyone is, denies responsibility, denies knowing who David Duke is, but he did know he is. And behind every one of these denials is something more sinister, this creeping white nationalism and its entry as a central part of Trumpism, which is now just republicanism, as an alternative but mainstream political philosophy. We have known about this for a very long time. We've said it on this show. So let's just stop with the shock and the hand-wringing, the clutching of pearls. Instead, we condemn it. We call it out for what it is. This is another very fine people moment. Very fine people invited to dine in a former president's home.